Hi.
Hello, hello.
Hope
What?
everybody is having a good day and evening.
Hope so as well.
We're talking about AI. Everybody's talking about the AI episode.
This is going to be a great one.
What's up, Dickie?
What up, Dickie? What up, James? This is going to be a banger.
It's going to be something.
It's going to be something.
And hopefully people learn some shit.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Like, share, subscribe.
Comment.
And let's roll that fabulous bean footage. Hey, and we're back.
And we're back.
Trevor, how was your week?
It was pretty good. Pretty busy with work and all the fun stuff. My chocolate mahogany Tsuma clutch got cut yesterday, so looks pretty. Wait till all the little ones crawl out of the eggs, but I think everything's got Suma in it. Obviously, I mean everything's got mahogany in it, obviously, and I think I got a chocolate Suma as well. So that's pretty exciting.
Awesome.
What up, KG?
Hey.
A downside to my week, I was taking down a 20-foot tree, and I was all done, cleaned up, and then I went and helped the homeowner replace or put back some vinyl siding that apparently some wasps really liked that spot, and I got stung in both hands through my gloves. And now my hands are a little bloated. And so, yeah, it definitely sucks. But other than that, pretty good week. Looking forward to this week. I'm getting the motorcycle delivered on Thursday, so hopefully my hands are better by then, so I can go for a little ride.
Do you have an appropriate license for that?
I've had a motorcycle endorsement since I was like 18. So.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah, I've had lots of bikes.
Nice.
Now I just need to get insurance on it, and I got the picture of the VIN from Mark. I got to get insurance, and then got to schedule an appointment at the DMV to get plates. And at the same time, looks like my license is expiring in August, so I might give me a new license as well. So,
nice.
But I'm going on a little ride first. It doesn't matter what I have. It's getting delivered, and I'm going for a ride.
Awesome.
How about you? How was your week?
Week was good. Super busy at work. I was actually supposed to go on vacation mid last week through the weekend, and things kind of fell through, but work was so busy it wasn't a huge deal. And then the weekend, my wife, kids, and I all went up to Estes Park and spent time up there.
Nice.
Estes Park is beautiful. For people outside of Colorado that maybe don't know, Estes Park is where the Stanley Hotel is from The Shining.
Mm-hmm.
But it's in the national park. It's fucking beautiful.
Yeah.
And it's like a nice little town with like an old main street and shit. So, really cool place. Oh, apparently it's a week for wasps.
Yeah, I guess so.
We're down a little bit on Morph Market. It's still down. So far, all 17 weeks that I've been tracking, we haven't ticked up any week. So we're right on the cusp of hitting below 28,000. So we're at 28,024, down 171 from last week.
Wow.
And about 8,350 total over 17 weeks. Wow. So, hey, we're still heading down. I had a surprise clutch. It was 2 snakes that I purchased back in October from Sam. And it was a man, it's a fucking mouthful. Blackhead, Mahogany, Mystic, Spectre, Het Ultramel was the boy, to a Leopard, Het Ultramel, 66% Het Clown.
Nice.
Wasn't expecting a clutch. She didn't really get big, didn't look like she ovulated. She was actually a smaller girl. Like, I think we talked last week or the week before about, like, you can't always judge size by if the female's ready or not.
Right.
She was only 1,250 grams.
Yeah. With the eggs in her, right?
That was with the eggs in her, yes.
Yeah. What does she weigh now?
I haven't weighed her. I actually weigh everybody tomorrow, so I just went, I'll just weigh her.
Yeah.
I'll leave her alone for now, and I'll just weigh her with everybody else. But it was 5 eggs. One of them doesn't have veins. I know that's no good, but 4 of them look good. So,
yeah,
kind of surprised.
Yeah.
I'm not going to complain about that pairing, though.
No.
That'll be awesome. Yeah, and I still have 3-4 girls that I think are going to lay.
Nice.
So I look back, and at this point last year, I already had 6 clutches, and this was my 5th.
Gotcha.
So I'm down a little bit. So yeah.
Nice.
We're talking about AI tonight.
Yeah. Quick note that 28,024. I added some to that, so go check it out, people. Yeah.
I have 8 sheds I need to send out for shed testing.
Nice.
I don't know when I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to wait for my bonus.
There you go.
And then I'll do that. But then I will update my morph market and get everything up there and up to date, because there's a lot of stuff I've been holding on to because I needed to test first.
Yeah. Actually,
the girl that just laid, I had her shed, and I've had it for like 3 months waiting for all these damn hatchlings to shed. I had this whole issue where their first sheds all happened while I was out of town in April.
Yeah.
And my wife, she actually was really good. She tried to keep them, but what she ended up doing was she labeled a piece of paper with a Sharpie.
Oh.
Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then labeled the bin. So she tried to keep it labeled, but she put the sheds on top of where she wrote on the Sharpie, and the shed actually sucked up the ink.
Oh, wow.
So it was just like, oh, fuck. So I've been waiting for sheds for all 8 of these animals again.
Oh, no.
To get sent out. So I'll be hitting, I think half are going to go to Charlie, and then half will probably go to RGI, because some of them I need to do a full panel, and Charlie doesn't do the full panel. So, anyway, we're talking about AI tonight.
Yeah.
This is probably going to be a majority of me talking.
Yep.
I'm going to do a slideshow that's probably going to take about 20 minutes. And then I'm going to do about 30 minutes of just showing you how to set up stuff in ChatGPT.
Nice.
And how I use it, and show you examples.
Sounds great.
So it might feel a little rushed. I want to get through the slideshow before I start answering questions, though. So let me present real quick.
All right.
So quick overview of AI. Hope everybody's ready.
I know North Country is. What up, North Country? What up, Will?
So real quick, we're going to go over common uses. The difference between prompts. So just typing something in ChatGPT, setting up a persona, and setting up a custom ChatGPT. Other uses, and then I'll do examples.
Cool.
So first, common uses. Tell me X.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I have a question I need answered. Tell me what genes are in the Bell complex. ChatGPT is really good. It's going to go out, scour the web, probably give you the right answer.
Probably. Unless it tells you that Mahogany and Stranger are allelic.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine, though, because it probably just looked at the wrong websites.
Yeah.
So make me a picture. It can do graphic design. Make me a logo for my business. That's probably what a lot of people do. A common use for ChatGPT. And for those that don't know, the newest version of ChatGPT using the 4 model is probably the best image creator out there now. I know a lot of people are using like DaVinci or Leonardo and having a whole separate program for graphic AI, but ChatGPT, I think, is better than all of those now. And then do this for me. Like, hey, what's the average cost of a male clown ball python on Morph Market right now? You can give it detailed prompts and it'll go out and search and try to find the right answer for you. But there's some misconceptions about what ChatGPT actually does. It knows how to do everything with little input. You have to think of ChatGPT as like a really dumb employee that's green right out of college, doesn't know how to use, like, they've read a lot of books, but they don't have any real world experience. And you have to give them that experience. You could, the next misconception is you can trust the outcome 100%. There's a saying that I use a lot in my day job in software, and that's trust but verify. Look at it, go like, oh, okay, that's cool. I am going to go verify this now. And I tend to do that until I've gone a couple cycles where it's like, yeah, okay, I got it right. Yeah, okay, I got it right. And then I go to spot checking every once in a while. The other misconception is it can't get better. It's perfect right out of it can always be better. Process can always be better. The realities. AI is more like an employee right out of college. It read a lot, but has no real world experience. It needs managerial oversight. You need to tell it what to give you in detail, and you need to verify it. It also needs tools to do its job, depending on what you're asking it to do. It may not be able to do what you want accurately without the tools, but it can help you build them because ChatGPT can also code.
Yep.
A really, really good example of this is if you ask it for data off Morph Market from a filter, it actually cannot traverse the filter pages on its own. It actually will get hit with the Cloudflare "Are you a human?" warning and won't be able to go through. And I found this out because I was setting up a custom ChatGPT to do data analysts on Morph Market data. The funny part is after I was having this discussion with ChatGPT and we went back and forth and it said, no, I can't get to page 2. I said, oh, I know what's going on. You're getting the anti-bot shit. And then it helped me build a scraper in Java that could run headless so it could actually get the data. So it's smart enough to know what the problem is and how to fix it. It's just sometimes you got to step through it.
Yeah.
So prompts. There's 3 different ways you can interact with ChatGPT. There's just you have the little bar in the middle when you first load the web page. You can type a question in, just give it a prompt. These are good for one-offs. They're ephemeral, meaning the data that you get back is not permanent. If you ask it another question, it doesn't remember the question that you asked before it. You can continue a conversation in a prompt, which works. But as time goes on, it doesn't remember the old searches that it did before in the conversation. It's not storing any knowledge. Every time you do something, it's always going to go back and try to grab the same thing. The problem is if those websites that it grabbed from earlier change, or there's new websites, its answers are going to be very different. It's not, you want this to be stuff that it's not something that you need to refer back to. You don't need it to store the information. you want to make sure that this is something that you don't need any tools to accomplish. So no coding, no art, no analysis. Just answer this question. Think of it as asking your friend for advice.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I have a friend that's an accountant. Let me just ask him this quick accounting question real quick, and he can probably give me an answer. With the forward of like, this isn't professional advice or anything, but this is what I would do.
Right.
Um, there's also going to be no consistency across prompts. Make sure this is something that you don't need a consistent tone for. Look, feel. You're never going to use this again except for this one question, because it's unlikely that you will get a similar answer the second time you do it. A good example. Uh, uh, we'll talk about that because that is not exactly true. Um, so there's a good example is people that do graphic design. If they just throw something in a prompt and they get something that they like, but then they try later to come back and get something in the same style,
Mm.
they're not going to be able to do it that well. You can give it the same image and say, hey, match this style, but it's not always going to be right.
Mm.
So the second thing that you can do is you can make a persona. And this, you want to do this if you want a response from a specific perspective, and this will answer your thing, KG. Personas do not parse data any differently than a prompt. They only give you the answer in a specific tone or style.
Mm.
So a persona is like, hey, act like a professional broadcaster.
Mm.
Act like a sarcastic comedian. But the way it parses data and finds data does not change between a prompt and a persona.
Gotcha.
You can tell it to remember this, store this in memory, and it will if you use the same chat.
Yeah.
But things start getting muddy because like you might want to use this person or this persona for a lot of different things, and it'll start crossing wires between those things. So like if you have a persona that you want to be your marketing person, but also write social media posts, which there's overlap. There's definitely an overlap of that Venn diagram, but they're not the same job.
Mm-hmm.
I've worked at large companies where your marketing person, your social person, your community person, all these people are different jobs and have very different things that they do.
Mm-hmm.
And their forward facing tone can be very different between those.
Gotcha.
So you can use a persona if you want a consistent tone. Like, hey, I need something that's always going to be a professional tone. You can use a persona for that. It knows how to match a style as well. One of the things that you can do when you're setting up a persona, and you can ask it like, hey, this is the tone I want. Or, hey, this tone doesn't match, but I don't know how to give you prompts to adjust the tone. And it'll give you like 5-6 different variations of a sentence. And it'll just say, hey, pick the one that you like. Oh, okay, you want it a little more professional, or you want it a little more snarky, or you want it, and it'll change its tone. And you can just say, hey, store this in memory. It still can't handle complex instructions though. Like if you tell it to go do something that involves data or coding or something that takes a lot of compute, it's still going to struggle with it. Third thing are custom GPTs. So this is where you get an employee, you get an assistant. These are tailor-made assistants designed for specific tasks. So think of it as I need to hire an employee and I need to give it a job description. And that's kind of what your prompt is for creating this custom GPT, is really you're creating a job description. It's persistent. It's consistent. It stores a brain that grows and learns over time. you can actually reference it in other prompts. So you can, in just a general prompt, if you create a custom ChatGPT and you name them, you can add that name when you do a prompt, and it'll include its brain within the answer. The other cool thing about custom GPTs is they can be shared. So I can create a custom GPT that's like a marketing guru, and I can go, well, hey, Trevor, you can use it too. And I can share it with Trevor, or I can just open it and give people the link. You'll see this a lot. Like if you see ads on Instagram or TikTok about people selling like custom bots to do things, this is what they're doing.
Gotcha.
Is they're creating the brain for a custom GPT and then selling it.
Gotcha.
The other thing that you can do is you can turn things, you have a lot more settings with a custom chat GPT that you don't with the other personas or prompts. So I can go into a custom GPT and tell it, I can turn off web browsing. So I can tell it, do not browse the web for anything. I am going to give you all the data that you need. I only want you to use this. And don't go searching the fucking web for shit, because the prompts and the personas, they'll use data that you give it. Like if you drop a file in there, but it's also going to search the web and search for random shit, and it's going to dirty your data.
Gotcha.
Oh man, there's so much shit that I figured out with this as I walk through writing a scraper for Morph Market, creating the data parser with it, and then having it start doing daily reports. And I've gone from starting with just prompts to going like, oh, personas are really cool, and going, wait a second, custom GPTs are where it's at. Like these are the things where you really get a big payoff. So other uses for ChatGPT. What's up, Carlos? You can use it to develop a business tone that can be consistent. So like I was saying, is you can use ChatGPT to develop a tone or a voice for your business, and you can tell it, give me a prompt for that tone, and you can include that in all the custom GPTs. So every one of your custom GPTs has the same tone.
Gotcha.
It's really nice, especially if you have someone that's like, if I'm doing like meme fucking social posts, or I need like, hey, I'm doing a show social post, they're all the same tone, even though they're coming from different custom GPTs.
Gotcha.
Convert your ranting into a professional customer facing tone. So like, again, like, fuck these customers. I think they're scammers. Vent, write out that email. Do not hit send. Put it in Chat GPT and say, hey, can you turn this into a professional email? It will make it into a professional email. It can do coding. It can do scripting. It can parse data. It can create charts for you from data. I think one of the hardest things is that, you know, there's a lot of moving pieces with a lot of data, and there's a point where your brain just, there's too much going on and you can't parse it. But like ChatGPT is perfect for it. You just throw it all in there and go like, hey, tell me what's going on here. Your brain may hurt now, but I'm going to show you after I'm get through this, and you'll see how easy it actually is to do. So what's ChatGPT not for? It's not for automation.
Yeah.
Like you're not going to automate like posting on your own. ChatGPT can be in an automation pipeline. So there are other programs out there that can feed into ChatGPT and have it write prompts, but it's like ChatGPT can't control automation. It's not for 100% trust. You gotta do your due diligence and double check stuff, because there have definitely been posts where it's like, hey, do this, and I'm like, wait a second, I know better. Like, and I'll double check it real quick. I'm like, no, this is wrong. Or it'll tell me like the average price of something is like this amount. I'm like, hey, can you give me all the links that you're getting this from?
Gotcha.
And it's like shit that sold like 5 years ago. I'm all, dude, I know this shit wasn't that expensive.
Right.
Um, it also can help with, it's not for decision making. It can help. It can give you different data points to make a decision from, but don't rely on ChatGPT to make a decision. It's your business, not ChatGPT's. Um, how I use it. So I'm at a point now where I use it for I have a bunch of custom GPTs for assistants. They do different things for me just because I have a full-time job, take care of the snakes, have 3 kids. I don't want to. I'm not a fucking writer. I don't want to write. I'll let Chat GPT write stuff.
Yeah.
I definitely got the tone thing because I think when I first started doing this, my wife came to me and she's like, "That doesn't sound like you making those posts." I'm like, "Yeah, it's kind of cheerleader, isn't it? Like, it's a little too rah, like, uh, uh." And so that's how I figured out how to change tone.
Gotcha.
And then how to keep it consistent across different chat GPTs. I use it for data analysis and business intelligence. I use it for coding. I can code a little bit. I'm not great at it, but I can definitely tell it what to do and I can debug stuff. So it just does it a lot faster than I can do it.
Yeah.
And I don't know all the languages, and this knows all the languages. And there are a ton of free custom GPTs that you can get that can do this stuff for you that I'll show you. I use it for social and tone. So it knows what the tone I want for my business is, and it knows the formatting I want for certain posts. So like the YouTube shorts that I was doing that I need to parse some more of, I have a template for that in the Chat GPT's brain, and I just ask it, hey, I have 10 YouTube shorts I need to create descriptions and titles for. And it knows the format, it knows the hashtags I need to include in there, and it'll make all those for me. I do graphic design through it. And I'll show you how I do it. It's a little bit different, but it's to keep the style consistent.
Gotcha.
For the future SEO, I want to start a website. It can do that. There's no reason you can't throw your state and federal tax code into it and have it give you tax advice. I wouldn't follow it directly. I would definitely get a second opinion. But like these tax documents are huge fucking documents that like, and they're written in a language that isn't like for normal human beings to go through. So this can help out parsing through that and turn it into language that you can understand. So time for example. So I'm going to set up a custom GPT. I'm going to show how I keep graphic design consistency, and I'm going to show you my daily report examples from my scraper and data analyst. So let's get out of this. And let's go here. So this is ChatGPT. This is if you go to chatgpt.com, I'm logged in and you can see my custom GPTs here on the side. But this is what ChatGPT looks like. And if you just ask it anything and type stuff in the middle here, this is just a prompt. This is with no persona, no custom brain, no anything. This is just ask me anything. I'm going to go search for an answer for you and give you what I think is a reasonable answer. And with this little tools drop down, you can do specific things here, like create an image, search the web, write code, and run deep research. these options may be different. I do have a plus. I pay the $20 a month for it, because otherwise they cap the number of images and stuff that you can do.
Mhm.
Also, if you don't like typing, you can just hit this, and as long as your mic's set up, you can just talk, and it'll transcribe everything for you. So personas, what you would do here is you would ask ChatGPT to create you a persona. And you'd say, "Hey, ChatGPT, create a persona for me that is a professional marketing person. The tone of my business is blah, blah, blah. This person's going to be responsible for maybe making all my social posts or telling me where I should run ads for XYZ." And it'll give you answers in specific tone, but it's still running all its logic through the same thing that ChatGPT is going through.
That's the fun.
What I found is better is if you click here on GPTs, you're going to get a bunch of GPTs, and these are custom things that people have made for people to use. And there's a huge list of these. So, like, I work in games, and if I need help with Unreal, Blueprint, or C+, I can 50,000 people or 50,000 plus people are using this, but this helps with C++ coding. Here's one for Blueprint, which is their scripting language that's for like designers to quick prototype stuff.
Gotcha.
So I can use these and then start asking it questions like, "Hey, how do I make a character jump?" And it's going to give me all the code I need to do that.
Gotcha.
But it's going to be very specific for Unreal Engine.
Mhm.
Some stuff that you might not know is here is there's like a whole astrology thing, research papers, and this will give you all the ways you need to cite stuff. Hey, I'm on a keto diet, can eat 500 calories a day. Give me a weekly menu. I live in this area code. Can you tell me how I have this budget? Can you make sure it doesn't go over this budget? And it'll give you a menu and a shopping list to go to your local supermarket. You can do really cool shit with this. If you need help with writing, help with productivity, there's things on here that are just like, "Hey, I'm depressed and I need to talk to somebody." And there's like psychologist chat GPTs that you can use.
Did you hear about the guy that asked his AI if she'll marry him, and she said yes, and he started crying?
Yeah. So the other big thing to do is up in the right, and I think our logo is covering it. But
I can take it down.
yeah, if you can take that down real quick, because there's some stuff in the top right here. There we go. So there's also a create button. And this is so you can create your own custom chat GPT.
Mhm.
And this is where it's going to be really easy and make your life a lot easier using chat GPT. So if you hit create, you can create it just from the ask anything.
Prompt.
And it will learn over time what you want it to do.
Mhm.
However, one of the easiest things to do is to configure. You can give your chat GPT a name. So what should we name our chat GPT? Anybody have any ideas? Give me a name. Just somebody, first person to type a name. Do we have viewers? What's going on?
We have 7.
All right, we're going to call this Gus.
There you go.
What is this chat GPT going to do? So I'm just doing an example of setting it up, right? So Gus is going to be my graphic designer. this is your instructions. This is the ChatGPT's brain. This is where you want to put the job description and any specific instructions on what you want. So anybody that's managed a person before, you hire somebody for a job description.
Right.
This is what you want to do for a job, but that's not everything, right? So like I hire a project manager. I assume that they know somewhat what they're doing because I give them a test. They usually give me the test back. I go, yeah, this is right. This is great. Talk through the process. But they're going to get to the job and I'm going to go, well, I need a daily report from you. You're going to be in charge of these things, but you need to tell me what's going on every day.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know what format I want that in.
Right.
Like, what information do you want? What's important to you? So you want to make sure you tell this what's important to you.
Gotcha.
So like if as a graphic designer, maybe there's a specific art style that I want. So Gus, maybe he's going to create Mimi stickers for my snake business that are crossover things. And I want you to do it in a very specific style, like maybe pastels or watercolors or Art Nouveau or, whatever.
Cartoony.
You want to make sure those instructions are there. Otherwise, it's just going to go and do whatever the fuck it wants.
Gotcha.
Like, so if you want all the images that this thing creates, maybe this is just my sticker designer. And I want all my stickers to be circles.
Gotcha.
Right? I want that information in there. If I always want a black stroke around the sticker, I want to put that information there. If I have a color palette, I want that information there. If there are websites that have data that I need it to have, like a specific, like this is an artist that I want you to emulate.
Yeah.
Say that. This is where you're telling it to how to do its job. Conversation starters are
on the instructions real quick. On the instructions real quick? Are you able to change those instructions at a later date?
Yep. You can configure these at any time. And while you're having a conversation with your custom GPT, you can tell it to put this in your instructions.
Okay.
But this is its brain. This stays forever.
Gotcha.
And you can tag Gus in other conversations, and he will come in with his expertise and deal with the situation.
Gotcha.
Conversation starters are prompts that you're going to ask Gus all the time. So like, Gus, I need a new sticker. Or, create a new logo. Create a Halloween logo that I can use for a t-shirt. Whatever. Graphic designer, you might not use this as much, but like my data analyst, I have run the daily report, do these things, and I can those prompts will appear in the prompt box for me, so I can just click them really quick and it just does it.
Okay.
Knowledge. This is the other part of its brain. So if there are specific things, North Country, I think ChatGPT, as of the latest update, has the best AI graphics that you can get right now. You can do that, KG. So the other thing with knowledge is this is a place that you can add to its brain by uploading files as opposed to just typing. So I can upload images and say, this is my brand. Here's my current logo. I do not want you to deviate from this. or this is the art style that I like. Here's a bunch of images in that art style. Use these as reference.
Mm-hmm.
Here is a spreadsheet of data that I want you to use. Here's 10 days worth of spreadsheets. Give me a velocity chart.
Gotcha.
Based on the information you have, project the next 10 days. So recommended model. So these are all the different logic models that ChatGPT has used now, and some of them in the past. And some of them are good at certain things. Some of them are betas, like 4.5. So they're not stable. They don't always work. The current main one is the 4.0 model. And there are certain ones that, like the mini high, is really good at data parsing. For the most of us, we don't have to worry about this. Just keep it as the default. Like if you really wanted to get into something that's going to do a lot of compute, like coding and stuff, you might want to change it. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
You also have capabilities. So the one thing that is really nice here is you can turn web search off. So if you don't want your ChatGPT running around on the internet and finding just random websites where it's pulling shit from, turn this off. But that also means it's only going to use what's in its brain with the files and the instructions.
Right.
I had mentioned earlier that the graphic design portion probably this is what it's really good for, is because if I really want it to be like Art Nouveau and I upload a lot of Mucha files or other artists in the Art Nouveau era and style, and upload my logo and say, hey, make my logo in this style, it's not going to go grab random shit. It's just going to use what it has to do that. The other thing that it's good for, because I know a lot of people don't like AI, especially on the art side of things. What ends up happening is it'll grab random images, but like you're kind of stealing, it's learning off other people's art. In a way, it's kind of gray area on whether that's stealing or not.
IP infringement.
Yeah. So a lot of times what you want to do is like, oh, I've already paid artists to make logos and do these things. I want it to just use that because I've paid for it. I own it. I know I'm not going to run into anything where it grabs somebody's artwork and I'm running into legal trouble because of it. There's also people now that they dirty images so it fucks with AI. There's a whole fucking anyway, we don't need to go into that. Canvas is, if you are doing a lot of writing or coding, you can turn, if you have Canvas on, it'll create almost like a Word document that you can edit at the same time as ChatGPT is editing it. So like, a ChatGPT will spit out a Canvas file. You can open the Canvas file in ChatGPT. You can go through and highlight things or edit things and say, hey, I edited this. Can you clean it up a little bit? And it'll go back through and go like, oh, okay, yeah, okay, I see what you're trying to do here.
Gotcha.
So it's more collaborative view with the AI. The 4.0 image generation, you want to keep this on if you're doing any graphic design, because this is the new graphic design logic. If you are doing coding or parsing through a lot of data, you want to turn this on. And this is code interpreter and data analyst. It enables it to run code while, so like it'll write code and then you can run it and debug it right in ChatGPT and Canvas. It's really fucking handy. I got like 80% of the way to having the scraper working by just doing it in ChatGPT until I had to go headless and had to run it outside of ChatGPT to get it to work. The last thing here is your actions. And for those out there that may be watching live or later, this is how you plug ChatGPT into other programs for automation. So this will allow you to link APIs or libraries to ChatGPT. If you don't know what that is, don't worry about it. You don't need it.
Yeah.
If you needed it, you'd know what it is.
Right.
So this is all there is to setting up a custom GPT to do a job for you. If you need an assistant, this is what you want to do. Because this person learns over time, keeps instructions. You can keep adding files and you can keep expanding the brain of this assistant. So how do I use it? So let's see. I believe Critter is my graphic designer. He does all my graphic design work. You can see these are the instructions, the prompts that it has. It will add these over time based on what you ask it if you do not have anything in there. So like the thing that I've been using this a lot for is creating stickers. So it's the first thing on here. But if you go, let's see, GPTs, my GPTs, and let's go to Critter and edit GPT. So you can see I have instructions here. You're an expert graphic designer and illustrator. Your main tasks include designing stickers. I tell it exactly the pixel size I need for things. I was playing around with it doing 3D models, which is, it doesn't quite do right yet. And you can also see that I have my brand design here. And so what I tell it to do is always use my brand style guide, which are these, when it's making something.
Gotcha.
And this keeps all the images it creates consistent. So this is my little snake mascot guy. And whenever I give it a prompt, I say, hey, use my brand style guide to create a snake mascot dressed as Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
And it will do it. It'll look exactly like one of these. And it'll say, it'll give some snarky meme like his Skywalker or something. Bottom. But the images always look the same. They look like they were drawn by the same artist, even though it's just ChatGPT. Depending on what I do, I'll come in and I will turn off web search if I do not want it grabbing random shit. Sometimes though, I'm like, I'm kind of out of ideas. Just give me a meme with the snake mascot guy, but I need it to search the web for that.
Right.
But this is essentially like a job description in here. Then the extra files, and then you can just ask it anything and it's going to pull from its brain to figure that out. The other one I have, probably the more advanced one, because I only have so much time to actually like focus on one of these and get it running. Oh, actually, no, it's not. Nico. So Nico has turned into my data analyst. It started with just, hey, like look at Morph Market and look at my collection and tell me what the best pairings are. However, I found out it can't really search websites very well. Because what ends up happening is anything like on Amazon site, they have this anti-bot software that prevents things from crawling websites
Mm.
that gives you that prompt. I'm sure people have gotten it before. Are you a human?
Yeah.
And it'll give you like a puzzle or something to do. It triggers that because what it's doing is it's not emulating button clicks or typing. It's just going like, oh, I see next in code, next.
Mm.
It's not like click the mouse on the little button.
Is an image of a bike.
Yeah, and then Amazon goes like, nope, that's a fucking bot.
Yep.
That's not a human.
You're out.
And it gives you the test, and sure as shit, ChatGPT is like, I don't know what the fuck to do here.
Yeah.
So this started off with like, hey, here's my breeding priorities: Dreamsicle, Holy Grail, Batman, Clown Hypo, Ultramel Clown, GHI. And I tell it, to guide all pairing decisions, ensure no male is paired with more than five females per season. Evaluate potential pairings for visuals or double het production. So I had to train it because it didn't understand that a recessive needed 2 copies of a gene.
Mm.
Like, so I had to completely train this thing
Gotcha.
so it knew what to do.
And is the data that it's spitting out based on your pairings, is that based on value found on Morph Market?
Now that I'm scraping and I upload, so I'll get to that in a second, and I'll actually run the daily report for people so they can see it.
Okay.
So flag any low ROI or off goal animals. So like, oh, you have this animal over here that doesn't fit in anything. Maybe you should sell it.
Mm.
I basically tell it I'm going to give you a daily CSV file or a spreadsheet of for sale animals that get uploaded to track pricing trends and genes for your daily report. I also have a little thing in here where it tells me like, hey, there's something really underpriced here. I also told it that I'm really looking to get into confusion with my dreamsicle. So keep an eye on those animals.
Mm.
When I ask you for a daily report, this is what I want. I even tell it what emojis to use in certain places to show me like this is going up, this is going down.
Mm.
I tell it what kind of chart to make, a bar graph, a pie chart. Like I tell it exactly what to do. So this is like me telling an employee,
yep,
this is what I want in your daily report.
Yep.
So this is the scraper because he helped me write the scraper.
Nice.
And so I always keep the latest version of it here because if I ever want to change it, because Morph Market may update their website and I might not be able to use it anymore.
Right.
So I keep it here and then it helps me rewrite it if I need to. It has all my breeding males, all my breeding females, my for sale hatchlings. So that way it can tell me if I have something underpriced or overpriced.
Mm.
It knows my store page, so it can check my animals against everybody else's animals.
Mm.
The males and females are so it can tell me like, hey, for 2026, you should do these pairings.
Mm.
I told it what I was doing for 2025 so it could give me a possible ROI for each clutch based on an average of 6 eggs per clutch, half males, half females. And then all of these are actually all the data scraped from Morph Market. So, and you can see here, I have the code interpreter, data analyst checked.
Yeah.
So if I go here and go, Nico, give me my daily reports. So it'll go through the analyzing, and what it's doing is it's going through all the CSV files that I uploaded, going through all the data, and then it's going to start spitting out charts that I've asked it for. Most of this stuff is not going to be recent. But you can see average price of a ball python non-auction.
Non-auction.
So the average price of a ball python on Morph Market right now for non-auction is $755. Total animals listed on Morph Market. This is it's fucking really small. The yellow is with auctions included. The orange is without the auctions included because there's always about 250 auctions running at any given time. And then I asked it to project out the next 5 days, the number of total animals that'll be on Morph Market.
Gotcha.
Based on the last X number of time.
Mm.
This is price distribution of animals. So this tells me animals from 0 to 150. I believe this knows to pull out auctions too.
Okay.
Just that's why the number's lower.
Mm.
So 17.9% of animals fall between $0 and $150.
Mm.
27.7% are $150 to $300.
Gotcha.
21.9, 300 to 500. So you can see, like, then you can go like, oh, well, $0 to $500 is, 70%, 68% of the market.
Yeah. Did you give it those values?
Yeah, I told it which values to bucket things in, and I can change these.
Yeah.
Like here, I just put 5,000 plus for this last one, which is 1.4%, or 371 total animals over $5,000.
Gotcha.
So this is no, it can't scrape history because it's not available, except for the fact that I've been scraping daily and I have the history.
Right.
But just for the days that I've scraped. There's there's probably a way to do it with Wayback Machine, but that only snapshots every once in a while too.
Yeah.
So this is my collection, and it tells me the low, medium, and high for the same animal on Morph Market currently. It tells me so like my very first snake I got was an Enchi Lemon Blast. And it's a male. It knows to break out the genes into separate genes, and it knows combos now. So like if I say Lemon Blast, it knows that it's a pastel pinstripe.
Gotcha.
It's a male. Right now there's 13 available on Morph Market. Male Enchi Lemon Blast, and the low, medium, high is 150. So that looks like a pretty static number.
Yeah.
They're worth about $150. And the trend on it over the last is just even.
Gotcha.
Whereas I can see my pastel spot nose clown male, there's 65 available. The low is about 262, median and higher about 300.
It seems high.
It's actually gone up.
Yeah.
For whatever reason. So I have this looking at my collection on an ROI perspective.
Mm-hmm.
It's looking at my 2025 pairings. And apparently this one's broken, so I'll probably have to go through and fix this one.
Pairings are worth nothing.
What happens is like something happens and something breaks, and I got to figure out why and fix it.
Yeah.
But the AI can help me fix it.
Yeah.
Hatchling values. So these are all my hatchlings. And it gives me, high, medians, lows for those animals. So pastel spot nose clown, I think I have listed for $425 with free shipping right now, or maybe $375. So I'm in the median high range.
Gotcha.
For that. So I might consider lowering it or something. Listing alerts. Script is taking longer due to depth of gene by gene comparisons. I'm optimizing the filter logic. I'll run this. Ready to proceed? Yes. So, yes, Renee, you're able to do mean or median. So this is giving me listings that might be of interest to me because they're maybe low cost or have something that I need. And it'll give me the URL to it, so I can just click it and go to it. And it'll tell me which category. Oh, it's giving me this because it's a Dreamsicle project animal.
Yeah.
Price trend is rising. Largest inventory segment continues to trend up. Like, this is all shit. Like, it's giving me business intelligence.
Yeah.
So this is mainly what I've been using it for, and the graphic design and the social media stuff is kind of taking a back seat to this because I find this really interesting.
Mhm.
But like Cora, God damn it, they've moved some of the UI around because I used to be able to edit through here. Now I got to go into this thing.
Yeah.
But she's my content strategist, social media manager, brand voice. But I gave her very specific instructions, like, these are the social platforms I'm on. These social platforms have to be under 150 characters. These ones can be anything. I have this much room for hashtags. If I ask you for anything related to the podcast, make sure that Ball Labs is included in everything.
Mhm.
It's Trevor and I. So, yeah. So, anyway, that is ChatGPT in a very quick hour.
Yeah.
Chill.
But good information. Very good information.
So, we're already at an hour. If you have questions, go for it. Just start throwing them in there. I haven't been paying attention to chat because I've had the other window open.
AG has a question.
Go for it. I don't think we can do that. So the way that I'm doing it with the scraper is each one of those little portrait cards with the data in that portrait card, it has to tell what to display. So
Right.
like I basically have it looking at the HTML for the page. It knows the format of all those cards, and it just grabs all 24 cards on a page, stores it, hits next, goes to the next page, goes to the next page. The scraper actually takes about an hour and 10 minutes right now.
Gotcha.
To go through it. And if I optimize it anymore, it was taking like 3 hours. I found if I tried to lower delays any more than I have currently, I start hitting the CloudWatch "Are you human?" check.
Gotcha.
Because it's just moving too fast.
Yeah.
But like, it's an example of like ChatGPT can't do this on its own because there's preventative measures in place to prevent it from doing that.
Right.
I had to build a scraper on a headless client to do it, and then just give the data to ChatGPT and tell it, as an employee, just parse through this data, and then give me the report.
Gotcha.
But like, I don't have direct access to anything that's not on those cards. So as soon as that auction is over, it doesn't have a price anymore, and I can't tell.
Gotcha. So it's still not the point where it could make Facebook posts for you.
No, but it could be in the pipeline, in the automation pipeline, to do that.
Gotcha.
So like, man, you have programs like, oh man, content management software, like websites,
like Blaze.ai, something like that. Yeah.
So what you can do is, using the what is it? Let me just edit one of these. Using the actions here, I can have it authenticate with like a server or something, and be able to have like Blaze AI connect to ChatGPT and have Blaze AI tell ChatGPT, hey, can you give me a post?
Gotcha.
Have ChatGPT write it, then take that text and pull it in and schedule it.
Gotcha.
There's some crazy shit out there of automation people have.
Yeah.
That also links into like other shit like video editing. So like, let's see, if we just go to like one of the featured ones is Canva.
Okay. Yeah.
Like this will create templates for you for Canva.
Hmm.
This one is for Veed, which is video editing.
Right.
So this will help you with creating shorts and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
There's fucking weird shit in here
Yeah.
that you can
People
do.
come up with.
Yeah, and it's like maybe only like some of these like I've seen have like maybe 10 people using it, but I'm sure it's really important for those 10 people.
Yeah.
But like writing like Songmaker GPT, create your AI music.
Hmm.
So this I assume is going to give you chord progressions, maybe even write lyrics and shit for you.
Right.
So yeah,
There's a lot.
ChatGPT is really cool.
Yeah.
So anybody out there watching now or later, if you don't have a question now, just reach out to me. If you have a question, I have no problem talking about or sharing anything.
Mm.
To me, it's just all information. People like, I mean, I've probably spent like 2 to 3 weeks just working on the data scraper, data analyst person, like that custom GPT.
Mm.
And I'm still kind of fine tuning it. And still, I find like certain things break.
Mm.
So let's see. Can I send ChatGPT to go learn everything on the internet? I mean, it can. It's probably going to take a long time for it to go through every website.
Yeah.
I mean, I think where it excels though is when you're very specific about what you want it to do, make a custom GPT for it.
Right.
That way, you know that custom GPT just does this one thing.
Mm.
That like the stuff that I'm thinking about doing now for like Nico, which is my data analyst, is taking the scraper, running it in the cloud, having it saved to a database in the cloud, and then just giving Nico access to it.
Gotcha.
That way, because like right now I'm manually running that every morning and then uploading it, whereas I could just go, Nico, go to the database.
Yeah.
The new thing should be there.
Do it yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'll probably start doing the same shit with the graphic designer as well. Actually, maybe the social media person, because that's probably the next thing that takes up a shit ton of time.
Right.
And I don't like doing. You scrape for Into and we pay you $10 a month. So the funny thing about that, KG, is that I'm basically scraping everything on Morph Market, regardless of the project.
Right.
And if I were to create a custom GPT that just was open to people, that they could then just go to it and go like, hey, what are clowns worth right now?
Yeah.
I could do that, but I've also talked to like, it's a lot of work. But I don't know, like it might be something, if we got to a point where we were running a Patreon or something, it might be something that is included in like a Patreon.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, you're paying $10 a month and you're going to get that in like a layaway bonus for anything anyway.
Yeah.
But you also get access to the data tool.
Yep. Might be a bonus part of our Patreon at a later time.
And by the way, Trevor and I have been talking about a Patreon, but
yes, we have.
Well, we can talk about that maybe next week.
Yeah, we can add it in there.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that's all I got.
A lot of good info. Uh, it's awesome how AI is advancing so quickly too, because eventually AI will probably be able to do everything that we ever wanted, right? Including learn everything on the internet and take over the world. So,
Well, I don't know if anybody's seen, but they're talking about now the AI intelligence divide,
yeah,
which is just that people are going to become stupider
yep,
or less intelligent because they're using AI to do everything. And
right.
then if it's not available, they're not going to be able to do anything.
Like it's the argument I heard about students in college using it to write papers, and then professors using it to grade the papers.
Yeah.
And if it's to that point, why is anybody in college anyway?
I don't know how much content people consume online, but I'm also a musician, and there's a YouTuber named Rick Beato, big YouTuber. I think he's got like 5 million subscribers or something. He just did a video today. Apparently, somebody created an AI artist on Spotify,
Mm,
and like he showed how you could break it down and isolate all the instruments to verify that it's AI
gotcha.
because of how clean, like when you record something, everything's in its own channel and everything is pretty clean across the board. Like here's the guitar isolated, here's the drums isolated, here's the singing isolated.
Right.
But with AI, it's not recording anything, so nothing's isolated. So when it's funny, they use AI to break apart the channels. But it can't do it because everything is kind of just mixed together.
Right.
Um, but this AI artist on Spotify has 500,000 monthly listeners
Wow.
listening to it, and the question is, who's getting the money for this?
Yeah.
Because you can tell that the tracks were based off of like classic rock songs,
Okay.
and even like some of the names of the songs and the progressions, it's like this is almost just like a straight rip off.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, so it's obviously built these things off songs that already exist. So who's getting paid?
Right.
And that was kind of the ultimate question of the video, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's really fucking interesting. But yeah. So next week, I think we're just doing a potluck.
Yep.
We're just gonna random talk.
Random talk.
Um,
Thank you. As many people show up too to give talking topics, and we'll be
yep.
we'll be chatting a lot with the comments, all you guys in the comments. So we really appreciate you guys coming, as always, of course. But yeah,
And the week after that will be a week off because I'll be traveling. I'll be in California for work,
yeah.
and
I'll be one day removed from the Mr. Critter show in Cheyenne, Wyoming. That's going to be a fun lot of work over that weekend. So I'll have 8 hours of
oh
driving
man,
back and forth.
I
Yeah,
fucking love this movie.
yeah, right. So cool.
But all right, man. Thanks everybody.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great night.
See you later.
See ya. Like, share, subscribe, hit the notification
Irvine.
bell.
I'm going to Orange County, KG. It's where my home office for work is. I actually used to live there, but that's way too fucking expensive.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks everybody for coming.
Talk to y'all later.
See you next week.